We are live. Hi, everyone.
Hey, everybody.
Happy Tuesday. We're going to hang out here for just a hair while people hop on. There we go.
Be sure to comment and let us know that you're here. There's a few people.
Hi, Jerry. Sandra.
Ashley's here.
Hi, Andrea. Melissa.
Jerry.
And gentlemen.
You guys got
All
your
right.
fan club
Let's
every day?
go ahead. We do. We have a fan club.
We have the regulars.
We have the regulars, and they are awesome. You guys are awesome.
And they laugh at our jokes.
They laugh at our jokes, and that's what we like. Okay, guys, we have a special guest with us today. Kenny is here from Powder River, and he's going to talk about chutes.
Be sure that you put all of your questions or comments up, because Kenny is here to answer any questions that you might have. And at the end of this, we will be giving away a gift card to Valley Vet Supply worth $50, courtesy of Powder River. So with that, Kenny, we will let you have the floor and turn it over to you.
Jerry says regular stalkers. All right. We are going to hunt.
Hey everybody, Kenny McIntyre, Powder River Livestock Equipment, coming to you from Conway, Missouri. They said we're going to talk about chutes, but we're probably going to talk some about tubs and alleys and maybe some gates and panels and some handling theory and whatever you guys want to talk about. Don't be bashful. If I have it figured out, kind of, sort of, I'll share it with you. If I don't, I bet I know somebody that's smarter than me. Melissa, you gonna do that? Okay. We shot just a little background last time out of that Valley Vet store, and if it'll pop up, I can kind of talk a little bit about the nomenclature and the numbering system we use on the different chutes, and a little bit about why we call them what we do. But I'm not seeing it on my end. No, ma'am. There's email.
I think maybe we cut off there for just a little bit. Mel, are you still with us?
I'm here. Can you see me now?
Yeah,
yes.
Got both of you guys, okay. No video.
Okay, I'm going to try. It was playing. I could see it playing. So let me try this again and just see if we can't get it on there.
Kenny, if you can't see it, you just go ahead and holler at us.
Okay. Oh, I got my mug twice right here. Well, I kind of think I remember how they were setting. Or we can just wing it.
Okay, it's just, there she is.
Okay, I think they can see the video, you just can't see it because they're saying the video was playing and the chutes are green. So
Okay.
That's good.
I don't.
Well, if
Do
any
you
of
just
you
want?
guys out there got to see it, it's the lineup of chutes in Valley Vet's front parking lot. Remember serves, we started with an S1500, 1500 being the body size. It's our entry level. It's our smallest chute. The S on that one designates it's a self-catch head gate hanging on that chute. There's also an M, like Mary 1500 for a manual. It's a scissor style manual, opens and closes the old style. We can start going up from there. The next chute I think in line was an S2000. Again, 2000 being the body type, the body size, the chassis size of that chute, and S again being the self-catch. I believe the next one was what we call an S2000 with a stabilizer. You notice I opened and closed two different head gates. The first one being the self-catch with a saloon door style that probably everybody's seen. And then right behind that is another head gate that's a manual scissor. The idea there is, since there's so little head control with those self-catches, once she catches herself with that primary head gate, the self-catch, and takes that step back like they normally do, then that secondary head gate you can pinch off at their shoulders so they're caught behind their ears and again ahead of their shoulders, keeps that neck stretched out, helps slow down a lot of that head movement. Then I think there was the hydraulic curtain, which instead of we make it in a manual also, but instead of the scissor style, the curtain opens and closes full width top to bottom. By far our most popular manual. The bigger cows will allow that a lot more readily than having to blow away out of that barrel bottom scissor style. I think that was all that was in that line, but we'll get more in depth on that later on. But I think that covers the video if I remember it right.
That was almost perfectly lined up with how the video was playing. You did awesome.
You guys are really cracking up. I can't hardly understand you. Am I coming across okay?
I think so.
I think you're okay now. You were cutting up just a little bit, but I think you're okay now.
The next size up, we call it 2500. It's just a bigger chassis. The 2500s are all hydraulic. There's a basic version and then a deluxe version and then a deluxe version with the trailer and the power pack and everything. And there's variances in between those. You can kind of build your own to a certain degree, customize the bells and whistles that you want to put on one of those. There wasn't one on the yard that day, and so it wasn't on the video. But I guess while we're on the subject of chutes, you know, we've got the 1500, the 2000, and the 2500. Again, that's the size, if you will. 1500 being the entry level. Nothing's really econo anymore. The prices have gotten higher than they were. Then the jump, you know, you go up about 1,300 pounds in that 1500 chute. If I had 300 head of them, I think that's a little much. It'll hold that size critter, but it's going to be full. Everything on the 1500 is what I refer to as a direct drive. Your muscles and the length of the handle on speed is what you got for use. When you jump up, it's got a rolling tailgate on. You jump up to the 2000. The things you gain, you go to a split tailgate, which keeps things centered. Where a rolling tailgate has got to go clear out to the side. The split tailgate kind of on the manual kind of lifts and spreads, so tension it's a lot quicker. You have half tailgate sticking out on the outside of your frame when it's open. In a lot of cases, not a big deal, but if you got a whole bunch of them to run and you're having to take that extra step around that tailgate, every critter or twice every critter, it can be an option that some guys really prefer. If you noticed on the video when I was squeezing those 2000s, the squeeze handle runs parallel with the body of the chute, so you no longer have that handle sticking out there in your work area. The squeeze and the manual head gates on that 2000 chute run through what we call a rack and pinion, a gearbox, which gives you a mechanical advantage and a lot more catch points. The days on those squeezes of having to take the pressure off, get your head out of the way, reach up there and release it are no more. I don't care how much pressure you've got on that 2000 body squeeze, you can reach up there with 2 fingers and take it off. I've got a little model of the Headgate 2000 rack and pinion gearbox. I don't know how well you're going to be able to see it. It won't let me turn this phone over. But if this is your handle side, when you pull the handle down on the manual, you're basically pulling the offside stanchion across. You can see the little pinion gear and then the top and bottom rack running through it, and the drop pin, that's your catch. Then to release it, you pull down on the handle, pulls that drop pin up, opens everything back up. That's the way it looks on the head gate. On the squeeze, it's kind of the opposite. Remember when you were kids, you were playing your bicycle, you wanted to gravel in the mud, you wanted the big sprocket, so you could have power, and if you want to run down the highway, you put the little sprocket on. Similarly on these, bigger pinion gear on the squeeze, so you have a lot more leverage, a lot more muscle transfer, if you will, but not as quick. No real need for quickness there. The self catches on 2000, same body, but the balloon door, they call it balloon door catch, where they get back into the chute, cow into it, clear her head, then her shoulders hit the head gate, catch it, do what you need to do, and then to exit, it opens full width to the front. So again, it's a full width opening. We put that, we call it a stabilizer, that secondary head gate on several of different chutes. Most popular behind the self-catch because of the added head control on that self-catch that doesn't really have anything more. On the manual versions, the C's and the M's on the 2000, they're going to come with the neck extenders, we call them. You probably saw in the video hanging up there on the front of the chute. Between the neck extenders and those rubber pads you can see on those head gates, all that is adjustable, so you can have whatever size neck hole you want at whatever height you want, mama cow, yearling, youngin, all that's adjustable. Those neck bars have set screws in, so you can extend them out a little more. We send them in shipping position, which is what, about 5 inches, 6 inches off. There's another almost 2 inches there. If you've got a bunch of long neck cows, Charolais or something that you want a little more until you lose, you can extend that out and get a little more control. Get those neck bars in their ears, and it gives you a little injection site for that triangle area in the neck they want you injecting stuff into. Standard on the 2000 series chutes and add-on the 1500 manual chutes. Worth every penny. Make a whale of a difference. Trying to think the lineup there. Yeah, standard on the hydraulic 2000. Won't get into the 2500s much. It's kind of a, it's a high. In the catalogs on the online offering, the answer ones are on the old website, and they're in most catalogs. At least the basic and the deluxe model, I think, are in the catalogs and your online offering. But everything's at powderriver.com if you don't find it there. Oh, touched on it a little bit early on. Just kind of a generic spiel on why we build stuff the way we build it. And I'm talking primarily right now about the different designs of squeezes. Reader's Digest, there's glorified book and shoots that we all. And it's got a few pretty dot one gets to the other. We build everything in a double-sided V squeeze. If I can see, so both sides squeeze, kind of like a nice model.
You're cutting out quite a bit right now, I think.
Can you see it? All of ours are double-sided V's. The analogy I always talk about is an old cow's kind of shaped like a football. So if I've got her held in a V, even after I get the squeeze on her, it's going to keep her up off the belly. Another one you see a lot of is a parallel. The sides run parallel together. That's where you're going to start seeing the brisket bars because there's nothing holding them up. We don't make a brisket bar because we think our sided V does a pretty good job of them up. The bar will keep them off their belly, but they also, you're dragging some awful expensive stuff. Those are cows or bar every day, and it's a little bit of a deterrent as far as something anxiously walking have to sell their bar. So we build our double sided V so we don't have to use them. There's at least one single-sided V where the chute as it sits stationary looks much like ours, but only one side squeezes. More economical, yes. Less moving parts, yes. But a lot of times, especially on smaller cattle, you'll see when you run that one side over, it pushes their body over, but their head's still centered in that head gate. Tendency to spread a little bit, given they're not balanced. We're in double-sided V. Everything stays centered, stays balanced. Their feet are on the ground. They're not getting their shoulder tipped over, the rib cage tipped over, with their head still over here. We think it's just a little better comfort level for the critter. The more comfortable they are, the quicker you can get them in and out, the more efficient your operation can be, and the sooner you're done before the snow starts flying and the chore still ain't done, that sort of thing. So tailgates we offer, I know I'm kind of bouncing around here, but the 1500 is going to have a rolling tailgate. The whole tailgate is going to roll out to one side, roll back in, has a latch, sheeted. The 2000 is going to have the split like we talked about, both the mechanical and the hydraulic, and the 2500 is going to have a curtain tailgate on that's hydraulic. We used to build one, the old value chute that guys have heard about for years used to have, we called it a drop gate, just a utility drop gate on a rope and a pulley. Worked pretty darn good, but if you had very many, it would get real old by the end of a long day hauling on that rope. So they went to the roller on that one. There's stuff out there that has those accordion folding drop gates. A couple different brands come to mind. They work great when they work. If you've got a little lube on them, when they start binding up, they'll fight you a little bit. So again, Powder River been building stuff since 1938, and they've figured out some things, partly in-house, partly for what the customer base is asking for, and partly as technology and the ability to cut steel the different thicknesses and weights in the precision that we need to has advanced a lot in the last many years. Back to the rack and pinion idea, they've had that idea for quite a while, but they just didn't have lasers and equipment to cut the weight of steel to the precision they needed to so as technology came along and the ability to take advantage of it, been able to come up with some neat advancements that make your life a lot easier. Again, with the rack and pinion, your mechanical advantage is such that you don't have to work nearly as hard to do the job as you did when everything was direct drive and those big old long handles and how much lead you had in your behind to haul on them. And then again, you had to take that pressure off to get it unlatched to get them out. So advancements have been made, and it's making it a lot easier on your operator, easier on your critters, safer for everybody, a lot quicker, a lot more efficient, more catch points. You know, that's still been around for 100 years, but once they got a little wear on them, you know, there are cases where you would get a head call, and you know they'd still be fighting around a little bit, and you'd think you wanted just that one more notch. Well, that next notch was 3/4 of an inch or an inch away on that old ratchet gear, and you just couldn't quite get there. So on these rack and pinions, you've got to catch about every half inch. So got a lot more control, more catch points, easier to get along with, easier on you. Oh, friction latches versus positive latches. A lot of them use different varieties of a friction latch on, you know, some fancy ones on a flat stock. There's some that are a hole drilled in a flat stock with a round stock run through them. Again, I've seen them work pretty darn good, and I've seen them with a little too much rust or a little too much oil that didn't work so good. So everything we have is either a ratcheted dog and cog type latch on the head gate and the squeeze, or through this rack pinion, and I showed that peg that drops down into the pinion gear and latches same way on the squeezes. So that's why we go with this versus the frictions. We had one that was kind of a friction latch, if you will, running through springs that kind of worked okay, but it took a lot of maintenance. It was years and years ago. I don't think I've even seen one, just heard about them. But again, through the years and the trial and error, if you will, you know, this is what they've come up with. Powder River's come up with it. We think is the safest, easiest, best way to get the job done. Okay, that's pretty much head gates, tailgates, and squeezes. Where we at on time? 26. Just a little bit about tubs and alleys, or column systems. We start with what we call a homesteader. It's a open rail, 1.5 inch square tubing, 14 gauge, been around forever. Set it up a lot of different configurations. Got a little cheat sheet here. That's just a picture of it out of the catalog page. And then I made up, and I won't belittle it or run this too far in the ground, but that's just a quick look at the different ways you can go about setting stuff up. This is primarily what's in the catalog, but you can get the parts and pieces to change your exit points. These are all reversible, so it can be a right-hand feed, a left-hand feed. You can change it and have a side exit out of your tub, like running your alley out there. That's a neat little cheat sheet that Jay and Abby have at the store, just as a reference. The next one up we call the Cattleman. It's a sheeted system. 120 degree or 180 degree tub. The package comes with 20 foot of alley in 6 foot sections that has a kind of a neat little twist to it. That's a picture of the catalog again. That center section, if you can see it, I hope you can. Center section of alley looks shorter and has those extra verticals in. That panel telescopes in on itself, which lets you, whoops, I want to wreck here, which lets you curve that alley one way or the other way down the side that adjustable. And we use a lot in cases where a guy's got a good chute sitting on scales on a pad. It's got to be right there. Their tub is maybe a homemade tub, but it's doing a good job for them. But their old alley is just shot, and it's 18 feet and 3 inches. With those expandable panels, alley panels, you can come up with an alley that length by putting one on each side. Again, pretty flexible as far as the different ways you can set it up. Here's the other little cheat sheet on that one. Again, gate is reversible, can be right-hand delivery, can be left-hand delivery. You can kick them out by changing out the straight panel on the tub. You can add sections of alley as long as you want to. Add roll gates, add over the back no backs on the sheeted system. The open rail homesteader system, most guys stay with the side mounted backstops. Pretty flexible way you can set it up. You can go center exit. You know, some guys say, well, with those 180 degree tubs, you've got that dead spot there at the pivot point on the gate. Well, if you feel strongly about that, you can flip that panel around and make it a center feed tub. If that's where you think your cows want to go and hang out, put your exit point there and let them get on down the alley. Go up to system 2000 from there. That's our heaviest. It's very simple. A lot of pieces. A different attachment system in the system 2000. It likes pretty level ground, but it's a lot tighter attachments, quieter, heavier. What else? How you doing on questions, ladies?
We did have one question from Ashley. She actually asked this back when you were talking about the chutes, but she had asked if you can get replacement parts.
Okay, we're pretty crappy there, like replacement parts.
Yeah, you're cutting out a little bit. Did you hear what I asked?
I was here better than I'm hearing you. I think I heard replacement parts. Yes, we're still building parts for equipment that's 25, 30 years old. There's a page in the current catalog, page 29, that shows a lot of them. Springs and that sort of thing, attachments, clevises, some handles, some ratchets. There's been, I think it was 04 that some of those chutes, some of those parts went from formed to cut, laser cut. So usually when we get into parts, especially on chutes, it's really, really handy to somewhere on the upper left side of your chutes be the one, I don't know what, 3/8 by inch serial number tag. That serial number will help the girls at customer service determine what age that chute is in, so we make sure we get type parts first time. Pictures are always good. Picture serial number is even better. The girls at customer service are really good about helping us research the generation of those older chutes, and in some places, tubs and alleys and latches and springs and that sort of thing too. So yes, I don't think everybody's still building parts for 30-year-old products, but for a lot of cases we can. Some of the real old stuff, you get in that 35-year plus range. They're not still readily available, but don't throw old parts away till we figure it out. But yeah, we've got a lot of parts available for a lot of older stuff.
All right, and then Andrea had asked what kind of a warranty you offer on the equipment.
Good one. The 1500 stuff is going to be a year. The 2000 stuff is all 5 years. If you stumble onto a copy of the catalog or in your online searching around, anything that has that starburst right there by my finger is 5 year. The lighter weight stuff, the 1500, you will see does not have that starburst on. That's year. On the hydraulic stuff, all the green is going to be 5 year. The hydraulics, since they're aftermarket, are 1 year. Gates and panels, again, that's going to show you in the catalog. The classics is a 5 year. The lighter stuff is going to be year. And the classic, probably a lot of people have heard of. That's that funny shaped rail. It's a pentagonal shaped rail that is open at the bottom, the one the wasps like. Admittedly, but they just last forever. But yeah, 5 year warranty on them. But everything on the online offering and in the catalog, anything that's got that 5 year starburst is 5. Everything else is year.
Priscilla says that she sees these chutes everywhere and she notices they hardly rust.
I didn't get that now. You're really crackling.
Priscilla said that she sees these chutes everywhere.
I heard silk.
Never mind.
I'm not hearing you guys well at all.
All right. I think we have everybody's questions answered. I think.
Yep, I don't see any more after the warranty question. So,
I can hear you now.
Good. Kenny, did you have anything else to add before we draw a winner? We didn't have any other questions.
The only thing I didn't really hit on, yes, we make trailer kits for our chutes. Know what chute you've got. The trailer is the same, but the mounting hardware, or stirrup kits we call them, will vary from chute to chute depending on chassis size and what head gate's hung on it. Touched a little bit on accessories for tubs and alleys. Roll gates, adjustable bows. You can piece stuff together. Got a couple of new products One's been out for just a little bit. It's like the baby brother to the Homesteader. It's the same construction, but instead of a 10-foot radius tub and 10-foot sections of alley, it's on 8. So in a lot of the country I cover, there's still those old barns that are put up on 10% or 10 widths that we've always struggled to get a full-size 10-foot radius tub into. So this 1500 system tub on 8 is pretty dang handy there. Changing stuff on Cattleman is still going to be available. It's going to be a 2100 system. I don't even have all the information on it yet, but working on some new stuff as always. That's the main two right now. If you just need, if you just got a few old cows out in the backyard and you've got a little old decent alley and you just want to hang a head gate out on that, all these head gates that we've talked about are available as a standalone. I will warn you that the manuals standalones don't include the neck extenders. They do include the rubber bumpers, the neck yokes. But if you need a standalone head gate, order the neck extenders as a separate item. You'll be glad you did. That any of those head gates are available as a standalone. And you guys have got, I think, at least one of everything out there in the yard. So, calf tables. You guys sell quite a few calf tables. 2 different styles. Really only difference is one of them has a head gate on and the other one has a head gate on each end. The magic of that, if it's not obvious, is we found that so many guys were sharing calf tables between a father and a son-in-law that might brand on opposite sides of the calf. So with a head gate on each end, by flipping it around end for end, you have access to whichever side you want to. I think Jay has at least one of each style out there in the yard, and headboards and all the accessories go with it also. So. Yeah, that kind of covers the notes I made that I really wanted to cover. So.
Okay.
Awesome. Should we do our giveaway then?
Yeah. Do you have a lucky winner there, Melanie?
I do. All right. So the lucky winner today, the lucky winner today is Melissa Grooms. Woo!
Congratulations,
Melissa. So go ahead and send us a PM, and we will get you the details for that. So.
Congratulations, Melissa! You won a $50 Valley Vet gift card, courtesy of Powder River. So thank you, Kenny and Powder River, for that. Thank you for coming on and answering all of our viewer questions and talking with us about the Powder River equipment today.
If I may, one thing we didn't talk about, and I probably should have, I understand you get a lot of questions on equipment setup. All the systems have a owner's manual or a set of assembly instructions. Jay and Abby there at the store have copies of everything I have. Pretty library, if you ever, and they should have with signs, they set somewhere or on the truck, whatever, in the web, or they get not there. So contact Abby at the store, contact me, contact customer service at the 800 number. They're all available digitally. They can email them to you. You're going to have them right then. Same way with chute setup instructions, any of that stuff, available digitally, plumb accessible. On that, if what we offer as a pre-numbered setup doesn't quite fit your bill, we talk about all dimensions of what you think you want. We'll turn it into a computer drawing, and it generally takes 2 or 3 tries, but we can put just about anything up within reason. May not be happy with the since you were thing. Product line increases, the flexibility increases. Certain situations we can get put together whatever you need for custom setup. So, sorting pins, alleys, all that jazz. Get with Jay or whoever you're dealing with, and they'll get a hold of one of us, depending on where you are, and we'll start that process.
Vicky wanted to know if you talked about scales.
Didn't get that.
I don't think he heard you, Mel.
There you go.
Vicky had asked if you. Oh, okay. Vicky had asked if you talked about scales.
No, we didn't. They are working for me. I've asked for a cheat sheet for both Gallagher and True Test adapters and hardwares. We can put scales under all the chutes. We can put platform scales in a section alley. Keep in mind those platforms are 8 foot, so they're not going to be great in a 6 foot section or in section. Section alley if you're going to do that. But yes, the newer chutes are still working on the mount hardware for a couple of newer load bars. I think got the 2065T. There's got a 9,900 pound load bar that they're still working on hardware for, but the gut of the line, yes, we can put scales under them. Well, we can supply the brackets so you can put scales on them. We don't sell everybody's scales, but you guys do, right? You sell both True Test and Gallagher.
Yes.
Yeah.
So if you decide what chute model you have, it'll go take a phone call to 800 to make sure we've got a right bracket set and price all, but scales are.
All righty.
Okay.
I think that's it. Again, our winner for today is Melissa Grooms.
All right. For that's not all. Actually, we have one more gift card to give away. So for a chance to win, what we need you to do is to like the video or share it or tag a friend, because tomorrow we will draw a winner for another gift card. So, and please keep asking questions. If you have any more questions, please ask. We can always get a hold of Kenny and he can help answer any questions that we have for you. So please keep asking questions if you have any more. One more thing before we end this video, we want to remind you
that our Be Thankful giveaway.
Our Be Thankful giveaway.
And tomorrow at midnight. So you need to be signed up tomorrow by midnight.
We are drawing a winner for that on Friday.
Melissa and I will be back on Friday, not Thursday. We will be back on Friday, and we will have some jokes, Brian. So come back Friday for that. But we want everybody. Thank you again, Kenny, for hopping on here today. We want to wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving. Have a great Thanksgiving with your family. So.
You're welcome, you
all
guys.
Right.
Thanks for the
Thank
platform.
you, Kenny, so much.
Thank you. We'll see everybody on Friday. Bye.
Bye.